Slenderman. The guy needs no introduction. Created all the way back in 2013, the tale of Slenderman was so popular at the time that it has inspired many unique creations over the years. From creepypastas and terrible movies to actual real-life murders. Holy fuck. It's safe to say the guy has had an impact on both the online space and on pop culture as a whole. And one of those contributions to pop culture is in the realm of video games. Slenderman has both starred in and influenced many video games over the years. From the good, the bad, and the fucking atrocious. Jesus Christ. And today we're gonna cover all of it, starting all the way back in 2012 till today. So without further ado, let's jump right into this, shall we? Let's go all the way back to 2007, where the first Slenderman creepypastas were created, both by the original creator, called Eric Knudsen, who made the original images and wrote the first pieces of lore about the character, to the many, and I mean many creators, who since then have created fan fiction about Slenderman. And it was thanks to these works that Slenderman started growing in popularity amongst people online. And don't get me wrong, it was still pretty niche, even for the time. However, soon enough, an online web series would be created, directed by Troy Wagner and Joseph Deloge, who also starred as the main characters in the series, and it was from this YouTube series specifically where Slenderman's popularity truly started exploding, which would inspire one man named Mark J. Hadley to create something truly special. The year was 2012, where the world bore witness to the release of Slenderman, the 8 Pages. The first high-profile Slenderman video game ever created at this point in time, which blew up like crazy, and along with FNAF was one of the original pillars in creating the indie horror genre that we know today. But after all of these years, does the game still hold up? And it turns out, surprisingly yes. Yes it does. Slenderman the 8 Pages is a masterclass in one specific concept, primal fear. The concept of the game is thus. You, the player, are stuck in the woods late at night with nothing but a simple torch, and your goal is to collect 8 little pages, while surviving against the mysterious yet terrifying entity known only as the Slenderman. You walk, run, collect pages, and avoid Slenderman whenever you see him. And that's pretty much it. Sounds like nothing when I explain it, but actually playing the game is truly terrifying. So how does the game accomplish this exactly? The gameplay is simple yet genius. The horror of the game comes from the natural instinct that we as humans all have. The subconscious fear of being caught out in the woods late at night, alone, with a predator stalking your every move from the darkness. And it is that primal fear that this game takes full advantage of to scare the ever-loving shit out of you, which makes this game hold up, even to this day, even when the graphics themselves haven't. Slenderman the 8 Pages is a classic in the indie horror genre, and the fact that this game has managed to stand the test of time as well as it has is a testament to its simple yet brilliant gameplay design. And it was this game that brought Slenderman into the mainstream, as many content creators at the time were drawn to the game like moths to a flame, as many viewers wanted to see their favorite creators do over-the-top dramatic reactions to the game's many jump scares. Which, fun fact, is exactly how FNAF, Bendy, Poppy Playtime, etc. found their success as well back in the day. Now, although Slenderman the 8 Pages was free, and thus did not earn any money, it was still considered a major success for the newly created Isle Studio, as they knew best how to create a proper high-quality Slenderman experience. All they needed was more resources, so they teamed up with Parsec Productions and the writers behind Marble Hornets in order to do so. And with their dream team founded, they got to work.
So I'm up here bashing it because I don't like gay people. I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
In 2013, at the height of Slenderman's popularity, Slenderman the Arrival was released upon the world. And again, it captured the imaginations of many thanks to the free advertising from YouTubers, leading to it becoming an instant success, earning a pretty penny to the tune of $3 million at the time. Not bad for a second project by an indie studio, wouldn't you say? Granted, they did have some help. So how's the game itself? Slenderman the Arrival is by far the most high-quality Slenderman video game made to date, featuring not only an improved and more refined adaptation of the basic gameplay first seen in Slenderman the 8 Pages, Slenderman the Arrival is what Slenderman the 8 Pages was always meant to be. With so many different locations, better graphics and a fully fleshed out story, Slenderman the Arrival was pretty much the perfect Slenderman game. And on top of all of that, it even had some lore to go with it, explaining why you're even collecting the pages to begin with. And out of all of the new additions to the Slenderman formula, the addition of a story is very much appreciated. And in addition, despite being nearly more than a decade old, Slenderman the Arrival still looks fucking amazing! The graphics haven't aged a single day. That, or they got updated, but I digress. They haven't aged a day. The atmosphere is top-notch, the models look amazing, the game runs like a charm, which is already a whole lot more than what other indie horror games can claim. Yes, I'm looking at you, Choo Choo Charles, you motherfucker. Plus the atmosphere. Oh my god, this game's atmosphere is something else, I tell ya. It's terrifying. Way more than Slenderman the 8 Pages ever was. I streamed it recently as well, and I have to say, I suffered a lot. Can't stay here for too long, else Slendy will get us. Shit. The game is very good at making you paranoid, making you feel like there's something around every corner, just crawling around and watching you, observing you from a distance. So you're constantly looking around while looking for pages. You feel like you're never alone, and that is just chills. Chills every time, I tell you. Chills. Now with Slenderman the 8 Pages bringing the character into the mainstream and this high quality game following soon after, you would expect Slenderman to grow as a character, in a somewhat similar fashion to how other indie horror games grew. Well, unfortunately, Slenderman the Arrival would be the last high-profile Slenderman game that we would see for a very long time. Blue Isle Studio would move on to new projects, with the company never making another Slenderman video game ever again, which proved to be a very big problem, as Blue Isle were the only developers making Slenderman games to this level of quality at the time, and with them leaving the Slenderman franchise behind, Slenderman games just didn't really come out anymore, at least not to this level of quality. And with no new high-profile games, Slenderman's popularity slowly fizzled out into irrelevance, and eventually back into obscurity where it began, way back in 2007. And it was exactly this stagnation combined with a very, let's put it up in the air state of Slenderman's copyright status that some companies would take full advantage of, creating many, and I mean many, mobile games designed to spam their players with ads to make as much money as possible from gullible kids who, quite honestly, just don't know any better.
Cringe. There's no other word for it. This makes me cringe. It's embarrassing.
I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty bleak. There are a lot of poor quality Slenderman mobile games on the market, and all of which are all terrible in their own unique ways. Most look terrible, most play dreadful, and nearly all of them are painfully uninspired. I swear, dude, most Slenderman mobile games are just a worse version of Slenderman the 8 Pages. A game which is free, by the way. Don't play these games. I'll be honest with you, just don't play these games. It is mobile gaming at its worst. At best, they can entertain you for 5 minutes before the ads just get to you. And worst cases, they're just a waste of your time. Just don't play this game. Between the years of 2014 and 2023, there was a phenomenon that I would like to call no new Slenderman games, leading to Slenderman becoming slowly irrelevant in the gaming space, which resulted in other indie horror games to take the spotlight instead, for either the better in the case of FNAF, or for the worse, like in the case of Poppy Playtime and Garden of Ban. I swear to God. Ban specifically, I swear to God, why does that abomination even exist? Like, holy shit. So by this point, it was safe to say that Slenderman's time in the gaming space was, if not slowly coming to an end, then probably already over. Or was it? Now, we come to probably the most underrated Slenderman game, called Slenderman Return to Rosswood Park. And to summarize it, it's basically a remake of Slenderman the 8 Pages, but remade in the same style as those VHS horror videos that became very popular around the same time that this game was released. Circa 2022 to 2023, you know the ones. Stuff made by Kane Pixels. You know the ones. Backrooms, fucking FNAF VHS, and I don't know, fucking Baldi survival videos. I don't know. I really don't know. Now, graphics wise, it's pretty decent for a free project. And the atmosphere. Oh my god, the atmosphere. The VHS feel to the whole thing adds so much more than it really should. It makes it feel real, which makes it even more scary. And of course, the game retains that instinctual fear that Slenderman the 8 Pages had. In fact, it's basically just a modern remake of Slenderman the 8 Pages, and much like that game, Return to Rosswood Park is free as well. This game was created by an indie team called Team Tomoneko, and to date is their only released video game. Well, damn. Now, I wish I could say more about them, but information about the formation and subsequent disbandment of the team is very difficult to find. However, I did find out what happened to one of the team members, or which I assume was one of the team members of Team Tomoneko, who since the creation of Return to Rosswood Park has moved on to create his own indie horror game called Terrible Lizards, which is available to wishlist on Steam at the time of writing this video. Now, the way I have been putting it, it almost sounds like there are no Slenderman games in production anymore, which, I'll be honest, isn't exactly true. There aren't any high-budget Slenderman games in production anymore. Sure, but short indie projects like Return to Rosswood Park are popping up all the time, with actually 2 new Slenderman projects being confirmed to be in development, such as Slenderman Myth, made by an unknown indie studio, and on the more high-profile side, Slenderman S Lost Chapters, which is actually being produced by Blue Owl Studios themselves, and set to release sometime in 2026, so if you're a Slenderman fan, you best be looking forward to that. And with interest for Slenderman slowly coming back, we may see a legitimate return to form of our beautiful pale friend once again. Granted, not to the same popularity he had in 2013, but he is sure doing a whole lot better than Garden of Banban, for example.
They're still making games, by the way.
They're what now? What the fuck, we're on 8 games already?
Worse. Scroll down.
15? We're on 15 games already? What the? What?
I know. This has to count as a war crime of some kind.
What the fuck? I am slowly losing hope in the human race. Like, what do you mean? Why? And with that, that's my overview on the history of Slenderman finally over. I hope you enjoyed this Halloween special. I know I sure did. And if you want to see more of my videos, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.